So I've come over to Puerto Pollensa today to take a look at this resort in September. Now I'm at the far end of the resort, and in this video I have some hotel news for you. I also have some construction news for you, well, more of an update. Plus I'm hoping we're going to get the opportunity to talk to one of the Mallorca Under the Sun viewers about their experience coming through the airport using special assistance. So let's turn the camera around and let's check out what Puerto Pollensa, at least this side of Puerto Pollensa, is like in September. But in the meantime, subscribe to the channel as well, because I will be filming down the other side of the resort. I will be heading along the Pine Walk a little bit later on, and that video is going to be coming soon. So hit the notifications bell too and don't miss that video. So I am in this lovely pine lined area here, right on the far side of the jetty. I'm not on the main beach here in Puerto Pollensa, but this is more of the doggy beach. I can actually see some dogs going out for a swim this morning. I can also see a paddle boarder too. I mean, it is absolutely glorious over here, but let's head on into the main resort. I'm just going to turn the camera around here and look, you can see where I am here. You can see the jetty out in the water and the very start of the main beach. So kids have gone back to school. We should get a real view of what Puerto Pollensa is like in September, and I am filming this on the weekday. Look, you can just see the little kids park here, which will be very busy this weekend as families come back out. Let's take a look down the beachfront here. So I can just see a local fisherman heading down onto the jetty this morning, but the breeze that we have across the water here in Puerto Pollensa Bay makes for great sailing weather. Now there is a little sailing school over here in the port. It's a little bit further towards the La Gola area. We can just see we've got a boat out here, but let me just pan the camera around just so we can see what it's like this morning. And I am here late morning. It's around 11:30. See quite a few people in the water, and it's looking absolutely gorgeous. So looking away in the distance here, I can see we've got a green flag flying on this side of the beach. We'll take a closer look a little bit further on. I have heard of reports of jellyfish over here in Puerto Pollensa, but I'm not sure we're going to see those flags out today. But anyway, come on, let's head on down the back of the beach. So if you've been following the channel, you'll know that earlier on this week we did have quite a storm, and that caused some beaches actually to pick up red flags. Now I am going to be heading on down into Puerto Pollensa Centre to go and see what the beaches are like down there, but that will be in a separate video. So like I said, do subscribe if you want to catch that. But in the meantime, just check out the views from here. I mean, it is just crystal blue and clear, and the sea is looking very, very clean here. Look, I'll just tilt the camera down. Look, you can see all the rocks here, and you can also see the wind on the water. I'm not complaining about the winds at all today. It really is providing some really nice light relief from the very hot temperatures that we did have here yesterday. Anyway, I'll just shine the camera down the beach here. You can just see how busy it is. We've got quite a few people on the beach. There are still plenty of sunbeds and beach umbrellas. It's not quite as busy as you'll find over in the Calvia area in, say, Palma, Santa Ponsa and Magaluf. There's still plenty of people around, and do you know what? This is just such a lovely time of the year to come out over here to Mallorca. Don't forget, I do have my Mallorca in September video out now. And look, we're just coming up by the La Roca beach bar, and this is looking quite busy this morning. Maybe a few people getting some drinks and coffees first thing. And oh look, looks like they've also got a nice range in cocktails too. So the next thing I wanted to take a look at today are the works taking place just across the road from the beach here, right next to the Swing restaurant. And you can see here, look, we've got is it the Seoul restaurant? You may remember earlier on this year, I did have an email from the owner as well, saying that it was being rebuilt, being restored. And I do believe, I think it's Julia is going to be back in charge of this when it opens. And this is the pink building here. But look, you can see the Swing restaurant right underneath is also open. And just to show you the location here, look, I'll just pan the camera around. It's right in front of the La Roca beach bar here. And look, we're seeing a return of the cyclists in September, and who can blame them for coming out here when it's slightly cooler when those really high temperatures from July and August have pretty much left us behind. I'm not counting yesterday. Yesterday was especially hot, but let's check out how things are moving over here at the Hotel Galeon, which is right next door to the Swing restaurant. Let's go and see how this is going, because during the summer months, during the very hot summer months, they did have to stop construction, and well, as we can hear, things have pretty much got underway again. I've got absolutely no idea when this is going to open. I'm guessing maybe for 2026, but this is going to be a brand new boutique hotel on the far side of Porto Pollensa beach. I think it's owned by the Rafa Nadal family, quite possibly. I think that's what I heard. Let's have a look down the side. So they've pretty much blocked up all windows into this development. It's probably because I was being nosier a few videos back, but you can't really see inside. They have blocked up all access here and all viewing points, but we can hear that, well, the development is pretty much underway. Whether or not this is going to be open next year, who knows, but I will keep an eye on it and I'll keep you posted. Okay, so one thing to take into consideration if you're staying on this far side of Puerto Pollensa beach, and that is this development here. It is this development of this brand new boutique hotel, and I did have a warning about it in the summer from a viewer who was staying in a apartment rental in this area. He did say that the noise did ruin his holiday, and as we can hear from the drilling behind us as well, it's all starting up again for September, and of course the works are going to continue into the winter and probably into the beginning of next season too. I don't know how long it's going to take them to finish off the developments, but check on the map before you book, and also just check on the map as well, check on Google Maps the location of this hotel in relation to where you're staying to. It could make a big difference to your holiday, although then again it may not affect it either, so just bear that in mind, that I can hear a little bit of faint drilling. It's not too loud at the moment, but you know, I don't know what's going on here building wise, and we don't know how loud it's going to get as we move on into the autumn. Anyway, let's keep heading along. Now, just look at the views this morning. I honestly cannot believe I'm back here in Porto Pollensa. It is just such a lovely and peaceful spot. And I'm just going to highlight here, look, the beach beds and the sun umbrellas. They're not packed together like sardines. You're not going to be chair to chair with your neighbour, which I'm guessing is what you really don't want when you're on holiday. Anyway, let's keep heading on, because it's looking like it's getting a little bit busier as we head on, and hopefully later on in this video we are going to have a chat to a gentleman who's over here on holiday. I want to hear from him. I want to hear what he has to say about his experience over here in Porto Pollensa this September, and you may remember him as well from a previous live stream too. You may also remember as well the huge villa, the works that have been taking place on the waterfront here over the past, must be over a year now. Have they actually finished? We're almost next door to the Hobby Club apartments to my right. Let's just take a quick look up. Now, I can't hear the sound of any building works or diggers or drillers. And just panning the camera around, it hasn't quite finished. No one's moved in, and I can see several workmen in there, but there is no sound over here apart from a car starting up right next to me. I can't hear any drilling. There are works still taking place, but I think they've got the bulk of the work done, and I don't think it's going to bother you if you're staying over at the Hobby Club apartments. Then again, I can't guarantee that. I can't guarantee that any building works will not disturb you. You can just see the corner of the Hobby Club here right in front of me. But this is just my initial impression of what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing today. And the Hobby Club apartments are looking very nice today. A lovely swimming pool in there. And just heading back to the beach here, look, you can see the green flag is flying. There are no jellyfish flags out either, which is fantastic news for over here in Puerto Pollensa. So we're just approaching here the Embat Beach Bar. There's a little kids park here to my right hand side as well, which is quite useful if you are travelling over with the family. And across the road here we've got the Ulal Hotel. Let's keep heading along. You really notice the difference when the kids go back to school over here in Mallorca. Just residents out here, just holiday makers. And all the resorts have taken over a completely different feel for September. Everything feels a little bit less hectic, a little bit more relaxing. little bit less busy. So if you haven't booked your holiday over here to Mallorca yet for this year, check out some deals online. I'll drop a link below. It is an affiliate link, and see what you can find. I did actually make a video about a week ago about pricing over here in Mallorca, and there are still fantastic deals to be had, particularly at the end of September. So go and check them out. If you want to catch a little bit of paradise before winter sets in, this is what you've got to look forward to. And look, just to my left-hand side here, look, we're over at the Pollensa Hotel. You can just see up above as well, look, it looks like they've got a rooftop pool area as well. Looks very nice. And here's a development too, right next door to the Pollensa Hotel. We had this brand new apartment block. Well, it looks like people have moved in. The pool is full too. So we're just coming up by another sporadically placed spa shop as well. There's not actually a spa shop, but it is a little mini mart, which is super handy here for this side of the port. And we're just coming up by the Tamarel's restaurant too. Another gorgeous little spot here right on the beach. One thing I've just spotted actually, look, they do roast chicken on this spit. Let me know if you've eaten here. Look, and I've just seen a suggestion here out on the board. Look, chef's suggestion. They've got lobsters, mellow rice, 26 euros per person. That must be a kind of a lobster paella dish. And look who I see coming towards me here, a familiar face from over here in Puerto Pollensa. Lawrence, how are you doing? Okay, so you may well remember this fine gentleman from one of my previous live streams from over here in Puerto Pollensa. We're going to go to, where are we going?
Sol i Mar.
To the Sol i Mar. We're going to go and grab a coffee or an ice cream or something. He'll be telling us about his experience over here. And you can see as well, he's going to have some little bit of insider information as he is travelling today in a wheelchair. But we're going to dive down a side street here. I can just see the Sol i Mar up ahead. So let's make a beeline there. Okay, so I am sitting with Lawrence, and you may well know Lawrence, who posts on the Mallorca Under the Sun Facebook group. But Lawrence, I wanted to talk to you about your journey over here, and you're currently renting a scooter here as well from one of the hire companies. How was your passage through the airport? Tell me how your experience with special assistance has been.
Well, this is my third visit this year to the island, and I must admit, I understand and I know that the airport gets a lot of stick.
It does get a lot of stick, yeah.
Assisted travel, but I've never had a bad experience. I think I can understand how it's difficult when you've got numerous flights arriving all at the same time, and because I think it's one of the busiest airports in Europe.
Yeah.
And so you can't cater for everything, but I've never had a problem.
Okay,
and
because you actually arrived in on the day that we had the really bad weather and the storms. How was your passage through?
Absolutely excellent, really. The one advantage, because I use an electric wheelchair on to the plane, and they take you from the plane on an ambulift, you know, the up and down, and then drop you in. And you have actually a special passport control for wheelchair users. So
really?
I was through in an instant. Really.
This is really good to know, actually, because I do know that I've got quite a few viewers who are a little bit worried about coming over, particularly if you're travelling with special assistance. So there is a separate passport control if you're with wheelchair assistance.
Yeah, I find it an advantage. I have a carry-on bag, which goes on the back of my electric wheelchair, so I've no luggage to collect, and it's smooth. I mean, literally 5 minutes, and you're off the plane, through, and you're waiting for your transfer. So
brilliant, fantastic. Okay, so one other thing as well, while we're over here in Puerto Pollensa, just making this Puerto Pollensa relevant, how's your stay been, and why do you stay over here at the Cabots Park and Spa Hotel?
Well, mainly because being Yorkshireman, it's good value.
It's good value.
And also because I am in a wheelchair, I have a scooter to get round the resort, but to get round the hotel I have a small electric wheelchair, and the hotel is perfect for it.
Okay.
Every facility you could possibly want. You don't feel isolated or anything, and everywhere's got a ramp and
Yeah.
no problems at all. I love the place, and yeah, it's fantastic.
Anyway, Lawrence, thank you very much for speaking to me today. I hope this video as well has put your mind at rest as well. If you are coming over travelling special assistance, like I always say, every day is different at the airport. Lawrence, I'm wishing you a safe flight back to the UK and enjoy the rest of your stay over here in Puerto Pollensa.
Thank you.
So, what a fab little spot the Sol y Mar is. And check this out as well for a menu del dia, a menu of the day for €15. Get 3 courses including water, dessert and bread as well. You see, good value can still be found over here in Puerto Pollensa, but we're going to head on a little bit further up here. You can see I'm just walking down past the Puerto Pollensa Park and Spa, because the big change that we have in this video lies right at the end of this road. Not only that too, but look, we've got the bar Bon Dia as well. Look, a little sports bar here too. Look, they've got great British breakfast, and they've also got football as well on, and pub quiz on the Friday. And as well, Lawrence has just highlighted to the Palms bar, and look, check out who I actually featured over in Palma Nova, in my most recent Palma Nova video. The Beatles tribute band play here on a Wednesday, so you will find most tribute bands here. Look, got Freddie Mercury on the Friday night. We have this fantastic live music singer as well. Plus, look, we've got the Want It Back, Take That tribute to performing here on a Tuesday. So plenty of entertainment, and not only that, look, you've got all the football matches too, but also on the Sunday you've got an Elvis tribute as well. So all of these tribute acts here really do bring a little bit of life to this side of Puerto Pollensa. If you want to see what Puerto Pollensa Centre is like at night, well, I will drop a video in the description text below this video, and also at the end of this video as well. Go and check that out. But I mean, this is fantastic that they have entertainment pretty much every night over here at the Palms bar. Okay, so the big news that I have from over here is that the Panorama Hotel, or the Don Miguel Apartments, have now been taken over by the Hoposa chain. Doesn't look like it's changed too much actually, just taking an initial look at it. Indeed, if you're a regular over here and you've stayed here this summer, and I do believe this big change has only taken place very recently, let me know if anything has changed or if anything is different. And don't forget, just around the corner as well from the Don Miguel, we've got plenty of bars and restaurants here as well. I have walked around here a few times. Go and check out my previous videos, but for now, let's head on back down to the waterfront. And as I said, that the cyclists are back, and I do believe as well that this hotel, the Cabot Spa Hotel, is fantastic for cyclists. And look, just coming up by the La Marina restaurant as well. It is lunchtime now, so we've got lots of people out having lunch today. Okay everyone, that's just a quick look at Puerto Pollensa, at least this side of Puerto Pollensa resort today, and I hope you found this video really useful. If you did, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I'll have plenty more hints, tips, guides, and also holiday makers experiences coming up in the future too. I will drop also a couple of videos appearing both here and here on YouTube, especially if you want to find out more about Puerto Pollensa's nightlife. You can also come and join us on the Mallorca Under the Sun Facebook group. Follow me on the Facebook page and on Instagram too, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Goodbye for now.